Hello, and welcome to the Wayfaring Panda. I'm Annette. Today I'm participating in a YouTube hop with Team Tiny, and the theme for this month is birthday. So we're supposed to do a card with the theme of whatever birthday month we're in. So my birthday month is March, and so my birthstone is Aquamarine. So I thought I would use these pops of color I got from scrapbook.com recently, since they're kind of the aquamarine colors. And when you first get them, you have to take out this red stopper. I've seen people do this technique on a few videos, so I wanted to give it a try. And I've seen them use pops of color or Nuvo drops and use it for card making or scrapbooking. I needed to put in an order for scrapbook.com because I wanted to get some of their double-sided tape, which finally came in stock for my scrapbooking. So I went ahead and got me some of the pops of color. And of course I got turquoise because I love turquoise. And I'm going to make this to be an underwater scene. So I'm starting with the lighter color and going to the darker color. So the first color is called Gloss Sky Blue, and the second is Pearl Seafoam, and the third one is Gloss Turquoise Waters. The pops of color come in different versions, so of course there's the pearl and the gloss. They also have a glitter, which is similar to stickles, and they also have metallic. And so it'll say whichever one it is, and then the color if you order those. Now the scraper I'm using is just a large scraper. I don't know what brand it is. If I find out, I'll put it in the description below. If you don't have a scraper, you can also use a credit card. But of course, then it wouldn't be as wide as your cardstock. I wasn't completely satisfied with the first panel that I did, so I'm doing it again. This time I'm putting on more of the pops of color and making a longer line. Now since this is the first time I'm doing it, I wasn't quite sure how to hold the scraper to get the best coverage or how much pressure to do. I did find out that if you still have some of the pops of color on your scraper, you can just kind of turn it a little bit more flatter and keep going over it, and it will come off onto the card. Now on my second go around, there's a few little splotches that wouldn't get covered, so I just put on some more of the pops of color and went over it again. Now this is what you should do when you're getting a new product and testing it out. Play around, it's just paper. If it doesn't turn out, that's fine. And I'm going to use that first panel I created for another card. Now one tip I will give you is if you're using a scraper, you want to make sure that you clean it right away, because even though I did that, it was hard to get off because it was starting to dry since I did a couple cards. So just like your stencils, you want to clean this right away when you're using any type of stencil paste or these enamel drops. The stamp set I'm using is from Pink and Maine, and it's called Turtly Amazing. And I'm sorry about the movement there. I can't remember if I moved the camera or the stand. I don't remember what happened. In any case, I'm using the sentiment called You Are Turtly Amazing. Now, I know this stamp set has been discontinued. At least that's what it said on the scrapbook.com website. However, I did see that it was still available on the Pink and Maine website. So I'll put that in the description below. It won't be an affiliate link, but I'll just list that in case you're interested in this stamp set. So I'm just using a stamp pad from Stampin Up, which is really old because my sister sold Stampin Up many years ago. And it's called Taken with Teal. I went ahead and stamped my images on Copic friendly paper with Memento black ink and cut them out with die cuts. And I didn't show that on the video because I don't want to waste your time with that. And then I'm showing the coloring, and I'll speed that up. But I'm not using too many colors. I like to start with the darkest color and then go to the lightest. With the Copic coloring, I like to start with the darkest and go to the lightest. And since this is an ocean, I didn't try to deal too much with which way the sun is shining. So basically, I put the darker colors on the bottom and the light and going lighter to the top. And I always like to start darkest to lightest, and then I keep going back and forth till I get a blend that I like. I did try to put the caps where you can see them, but some of them I got off the screen. So for the starfish, I just used two colors. It was R22, or it's R22, is how you're supposed to say it, which is like prawn, and R21, which is sardonyx. And then for the coral, I did three colors. Since it's a little bit bigger, I still use the R22, R21, and R20. For the seaweed, I'm using BG78 and BG72, and since they're a little bit further apart in number, and also since I didn't have a third color, I just overlapped them more in the middle, and I had to do a little bit more blending. But I find the BG colors kind of blend a lot easier than some of the others. Now for the turtle, I'm using several of the BG colors. And when I first started, I had BG10, BG13, and BG18. However, you're supposed to use ones that start like with that first number, which in the 10, 13, 18, I'm just saying that way because it's easier. All of them start with the 1, so those should be ones that blend together. And then you try to get ones that maybe be a smaller number, a middle number, and a larger number. But I don't believe I had one of the colors at first, so I happen to have a BG 32, but it does go really well. And actually, even though it looks like a bigger number, it's a lot lighter than the BG13. So I use that as a middle tone between my 10 and my 13. Now, if you're just getting started out, I'm really not great at Copic coloring. I just learned what I have from watching videos. I did take one online class, but I just do it for fun. And I know they can be expensive, and it doesn't matter what brand you get. I like the Copics, but whatever brand you decide to get into is fine. But the tip I want to give you is good for any of the markers. Look to see what images that you like to do. When I was starting out, I mostly do animals, and mostly furry animals. So I knew I wanted mostly black and brown colors. I started with the E's and just one of the gray colors, which is either warm, cool, or I think there's a middle one of some kind. But I just had the warm ones. I decided on that one and just got like every other color on those. And then I got different browns. And then I decided to get some blues. So I started out with just maybe 2 or 3 of each of those colors. And I only got like maybe one yellow. And I didn't get any pinks or purples to start with. And just every so often when there was a sale, I'd just get maybe 2 or 3 other ones. Now, I only grew my collection because recently Hobby Lobby had a 50% off sale because, or maybe it was 75% off because they were putting them on clearance. So that's the only reason I have all these blue-greens. I started with just 3 blue-green markers, and that was one of the few actual colors I chose because I love ocean animals, and that's my favorite color. So I would look at my stamps or whatever it is you like to color. If you're starting out, see what thing, if you mostly like flowers, then get some more of the yellows, greens, and purples to start with. Just get those, whatever thing you're going to want to color. And you don't have to have this many shades of green. When I first started, everything was, the same 3 shades of blue-green. That's fine. It's a small area. It's not like I'm doing a painting. Keeping with the theme, I'm using a turquoise colored card base, and I'm gluing my panel to that using my Nuvo Deluxe glue. I place all my images on the card and move them around to see which way I like them best, and of course it ends up that I like them best the first way that I did it. Then I take my Nuvo Deluxe glue and glue on my sentiment, and then I glue the starfish onto my sentiment. I decided I wanted my turtles to have a little dimension, so I'm putting some dimensional squares. These I just made with some chipboard and double-sided tape. So I just took some chipboard, put double-sided tape on both sides, and cut them into strips and little squares. I just keep those on hand. I did those because they're not quite as thick as a foam square, plus I'm thinking they're a little bit more environmentally friendly. I'll put a list of all the products that I'm using in the description below. Some of these will be affiliate links. They don't cost you anything extra to use, but I do get a small commission from any sales that those links generate, and that helps support my channel. As I mentioned earlier, this video is part of a YouTube hop with Team Tiny. So to find the other videos, you just click on the hashtag in my description below, and it'll populate the other videos. Or you can type in search the hashtag Team Tiny April 2023 hop to get the other videos. Please hop along to get more inspiration. For an added embellishment, I'm adding some Aquamarine jewels from Pretty Pink Posh so that I add a little bit more pizzazz, and also they kind of look like the gems that are actually aquamarines. And when I add these, I like to use Glossy Accents because it dries clear, and also it's very sticky, so it'll hold heavier objects onto your paper. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like. And if you're not already a subscriber, I'd really appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel. If you are already a subscriber, I want to thank you for your continued support, and I hope everyone has a fantastic day.